Okay, we should be live. I'm going to make sure everything is working, and then we can get started. Okay, audio sounds fine. Okay, we should be good. Although I do not know what game we're watching this week because it sounds like there's some ties and whatnot. Is it still tied? It is not. Okay, so it looks like we'll be watching the Raiders and the Golden Eagles in week 2. And then in week 3, we will watch the Bengals and New England. LSGIT, Bacher, Shiesty, Hector, Littlejaw, C-Mill. I can still show Sean Tucker's abilities if you want. Because I already clicked X, so. Here you are, sir. Okay, so we'll start with the Raiders and the Golden Eagles. Hector versus Hector, technically. Siri, give me a number between 424 and 425. 425. I don't know who's home. Mexico's home. So we'll user them. I've had my secondary controller charging for about 2 minutes. So hopefully it's not as dead as it was last stream, and we can have both teams pick their jerseys. Although now that I say that, the Raiders don't really have many choices in terms of colors. What's going on, Giddy? You came at a good time because your team is about to play in like a minute or two. Yeah, I don't know if we've seen Mexico Stadium. I assume you want the ketchups, the all red. Yeah, and then, I mean, do we want to pick the Raiders jerseys if my controller works? Oh, now the controller's at one whole bar. I've had it plugged in for 3 minutes. Okay. I see a vote for all white. Where are their white? Do they have white pants? Yeah. That's way better than the gray pants. We can have them wear black. There's certainly some black ones in here. I assume it's really only black, white, and gray. Yeah, I know it was on Echo. I did that on purpose. Are you star dev? I have no idea. I didn't make the draft class, so I don't know. All black versus all red. Where are their black pants? They have to have some in here. I don't know if they do. No, they don't. And I don't think they have any, like, stylish helmets. They never had a black helmet, did they? No, I didn't think so. So do we want black or white? Yeah, there's no black pants. There's no black helmets. So if we want all of one color, the only one that we could do would be white. Which I think these pants are probably the best to go with the jerseys. Yeah, if we want all white. Raiders should have. I think the Raiders didn't they relocate last year? Yeah, Giddy relocated them. They were the Pioneers, who always started off really good and then always fell on their face at the end. But at least they made the playoffs like every year. That's impressive. Black or white? That's racist. Well, if you take it out of context, I guess it is. All white for Jokic. I feel like the all whites kind of go better because there isn't like a black helmet or black pants. So all white. Do we have any completions? Any complaints? That's not a word. Any complaints? Even though Hector loves blacks, Hector already gets to watch his team here, so we can go with white. So let's get it started. Week 2, we get Hector Estrada, the quarterback, against Hector Estrada, the coach, whose QB is none other than two-time national champion Stetson Bennett, the fourth. We have the fourth versus the fifth, I think. Isn't Hector the fifth? That's ironic. Who's the MVP? For me, it's Jokic. People want to make the argument that like he's not the type of player to have 3 in a row, but like he's been the best player in the league each of the last 3 years. So by definition, he should get it. I don't think they will give it to Jokic, but I think they should. Here's Mr. Stetson. He's coming off a bleh performance last week. He wasn't, like, bad. Lowest overall starting quarterback is, what's his face? Cocky Butt Cannon with the Monarchs, or whatever his name is. It should have been Paulo. Known rookie MVP winner, Paulo Banchero. Here's Justin Taylor, the user running back. He is the starter here. They've got some talent at receiver, including Greg Dortch, who had 100 yards last week. It'll be easy to point out Dortch because he's the smallest one on the field. Although I don't see him here. Is he the one inside? Because outside, that guy is not small. I think that's Michael Pittman, who definitely is not small. So the Raiders end up getting the stop. That was Payne, the rookie, at defensive tackle, making the play. And so now we get to see their offense. They made it to the divisional round last year with Desmond Ridder. They then traded away Desmond Ridder in their quest to acquire as many draft picks as possible. The Raiders have a bazillion rookies on both sides of the ball. On offense, they've got guys like Travion Henderson, Marvin Harrison Jr., Stetson Bennett, noted 30-year-old first-time starter. Grandpa. The Golden Eagles' defensive line should be fun to watch. They've got some guys here. Myles Garrett, Danielle Hunter, Quentin Williams, John Franklin Myers. Not bad. Not bad at all. There's a good throw by Hector, the fifth. Hector, the fourth, last year was pretty good. Won an MVP, nearly won another one on a different team. I forgot they had Evan Ingram. But they've got a young group of receivers. I think Troy drafted like DJ Moore, Gabe Davis, and Calvin Ridley in the fantasy draft, and I think all 3 of them are gone. No, DJ Moore's still here, isn't he? I don't think he traded DJ Moore. I know he traded the other 2. Or let him go. Last year it was Hector. Then why'd you go up to Hector the 5th? That doesn't make sense. Why did we skip the 3rd and the 4th? As Hector is sacked. Denzel Perryman makes the play. You would have thought it would have been one of their defensive linemen. Although it was only half a sack. I think Myles Garrett was there too. He got the 3rd pick for Ridley. Well, that's a pretty... I thought Ridley was a free agent. And then he used like a couple of picks to move up for Marv, right? Or no, he moved down and then Danny moved up. to get Tuiomolo. I think he already had the third pick. Maybe he did trade Ridley for it like earlier in the year. That would make more sense. Yeah, with Portland. Okay, now I'm remembering. And he does still have DJ Moore because DJ Moore just brought it to the 8. He isn't Stetson, I assume, the guy whose HR guys put in entry level but need 8 years experience in a coding language that's existed for 6 years. D-line is selling. We're like 5 minutes into the game, bud. Oh, Hector of the Fifth looks pretty good as they get it to the 1. He is 6 for 6. Did that say he had 97 passing yards? No, I think that's at 87. 3rd and goal, they don't get it. Travion Henderson loses 2. Danielle Hunter, the weak link on this defensive line, which says something. And that'll bring out the field goal team. They're not going to go for it on the 2-yard line. I don't know what I would have done there, but they are the first ones to score. Not a bad drive. Felt like they could have done more. So now it's time to see what Stetson Bennett can do on drive number 2. I heard Stetson Bennett just got a hip replacement before this game, so there might be some challenges with him navigating through the pocket. I think he's going to get both of his knees replaced pretty soon, too. At least he doesn't have 0.3 yards a carry like Justin Taylor does. Stetson Bennett pictured asking Jacoby Brissett for advice. That's like the grandfather asking the grandson for advice. That doesn't make sense. Stetson's going to chuck one up, and it is incomplete. Good play. The Golden Eagles offense hasn't done a whole lot going so far. I guess that's what happens when your quarterback and running back are both like 2 of the lowest rated starters at their positions. Put Jacoby in. I don't make depth chart changes in game, so no. Everyone gives Jason Kelce all the credit for the Eagles' amazing QB sneak percentage, but I think Jalen Hurts, he does have some quads. He's got some legs all right. But I feel like it's almost everyone, even the guys from behind pushing him forward. Their whole QB sneak operation is something else. More like 0.3% blood alcohol level. Is Stetson Bennett going to get arrested for public intoxication on the sidelines too? So we are watching the Bengals next, yes, against New England. As Mexico gets the stop. I don't know why Hector went short there. I think that's Hassan Reddick. Stetson gets arrested before the game for public intoxication. What's he doing publicly intoxicated in Mexico at like 12 in the afternoon? Oh, what a punt! That's going to stop all the way at the 2. What a roll for the Raiders. Public intoxication isn't even a crime in Mexico. Well, then I guess Stetson can get away with it all he wants with his other retirement-homed friends. "98 yards incoming. Are we going to get a 98-yard Justin Taylor touchdown?" Well, that's kind of impossible because they had it to 7 now. They're still in safety territory, but they do have a little bit more room to work with, so we'll probably see a pass here. And Stetson launches a dime, so that'll not only get them out of safety territory, but they're actually going to be able to drive now. Jacob Cowan, Arizona's finest. Sounds like exactly what I would do in Mexico at 12 in the afternoon. Well, you and Stetson Bennett must be best pals in that case. He might be wearing an ankle monitor right now. That's a nice pass. He's been working on it for 20 years. He's been working on it since he was 40? There's a good throw. Look at him cook. Who's 86? That's not Greg. No, Greg is shorter than that. That guy looked like he actually had some height. Stetson again under pressure with another good throw, but it's out of bounds. Gerald Everett, that would make sense. I don't know where Greg Dortch is. He hasn't done anything yet today. Look at Stetson move. He's quick for someone who's 65 years old. I didn't know grandpas could move like that under pressure. And Stetson launches a dime, and the receiver high points it perfectly. Michael Pittman. Big wide receivers in watch games can be major assets, and Michael Pittman, well, he's pretty big. We need a Stetson to Dortch touchdown. I think Hector would like just about explode when that happens. Nearly hit the touchdown, but the Raiders break it up. Stetson's been very aggressive. He's thrown a lot of balls downfield. I like the aggressiveness, and he's had some good throws. He goes short, and it pays off. They get a first down again. I'll be honest, I'm liking what I'm seeing from Stet. Does anyone call him Stet? If not, I'm going to call him that now. Now at the 12, can Mexico take the lead? That was Greg Dortch who made the catch. Finally, it's about time. Stetson actually went to medical school and did a neurosurgeon residency before declaring to the draft to help with his precision. And he had all that time to graduate through medical school, too. 3rd and 4. We haven't had a touchdown yet in this game, but Mexico's looking to change that. Can they do it here? And they're not. Stetson ends up getting sacked. Who's 43? I can't read the name. So Mexico will not be able to get the touchdown. They'll have to kick. For what it's worth, Stetson does not look intoxicated. Maybe he's making big-time throws because he is intoxicated. That's why he's being so aggressive. That was Drew Sanders. Toronto Husky legend Drew Sanders. Getting revenge on his old coach. I'd just call him Benny. Benny kind of goes hard for Bennett. Did you end up figuring out how KJ got 3 sacks? I did not, but good for him for making plays, I guess. Todd Late, did we lose yet? This is the first game of the first week today, so. The only thing you guys did lose was the vote, because your game almost won, but it didn't. But you haven't lost anything meaningful yet. Keyword is yet. Now at the 2-minute warning, only tied at 3. Both offenses have had some good drives, but they haven't been able to, find the end zone. Yeah, we did see the Frank Bowl last year, to be fair. So it's not like we'll never see it, because we already have. And you guys play again later in the year, and 2 times every other season in existence. What if Hector trades for himself? That really wouldn't surprise me if he did. Although, if Hector plays well for the Raiders, I don't know if Troy's going to do it, unless Troy just wants a bazillion more draft picks, which I also wouldn't put past him. Myles Garrett with the sack. Feels weird not having Myles Garrett on my team. I've had him on one of my teams like 3 times. Hector is 13 for 14. He's kind of cooking. Does Hector just get a player? No. I don't even... How did Hector get a player? Didn't he get one of his friends to come into the server and make a player for him? I think that's why there's another Hector player. And then last year, Hector was originally a player. He created himself. Then he became a coach. Then he traded for himself. And then he traded himself away to me for Lord knows what reason. Hector's going to trade for himself again. He'll win MVP, and then he's going to trade him to he's going to trade him to the Panthers after Quinn Ewers doesn't work out. 3rd and 5. Are they going to give it to him? They will not. He caught it past the first down marker, but because of forward progress, he ran backwards. I feel like you shouldn't run back towards the line of scrimmage, but okay. The Raiders are going to kick because they're wusses. Rudy Gobert is more of a cancer than Ben Simmons. I would agree with that. I mean, Ben Simmons, is he even like a bad teammate? He's ruined his own career, but he's not like a bad teammate. Whereas Rudy at this point, yeah, I think we can infer that he's a bad teammate. Donovan Mitchell didn't like him for a reason. The thing yesterday happens. There's been other stuff, too, that's not coming to the top of my head. But, yeah, I would say Rudy's a bigger cancer at this point. The Gobert trade very well could be one of the worst ever, because Walker Kessler gives you everything that Gobert can, pretty much, along with 5 first-round picks and other solid players, most of whom were traded to the Lakers at the deadline. He's going to trade for himself and then trade him to the Nighthawks for C.J. Stroud. Look at Justin Taylor. Nice little juke move. Doesn't get the first, but that's a good run. The thing with the Kyrie trade is, even though it's probably not going to work out, who knows if he'll be back, but it's not like Dallas gave up the house. Although, Dallas should have also seen this coming. It's not like Kyrie really helps your team. Obviously, on the floor he does, but, like, if you combine everything off the floor, what a punt. Again. Both teams have won a punts in the first half. But anyway, Kyrie's had a track record recently of not helping his team. So I feel like on one hand, Dallas should have seen it coming. But on the other hand, it's not like they gave up their entire future for him. The way Taurean Prince pushed Gobert. And then did you hear the thing from the locker room? I don't know how real it is. But there was like an audio from Kyle Anderson in the locker room. And it's not pretty. Put it that way. So, I guess there's a reason why Rudy was suspended from the playing game. If anything, the Porzingis trade is worse than the Kyrie thing. I guess. I mean, they didn't give up, like, an over amount. They gave up, what, a couple of picks and Dennis Smith? I mean, that's not, like, terrible. In hindsight, they probably shouldn't have done it because Porzingis couldn't really stay healthy for them. But I will cash app you $200 if you make Jacoby the starter. Here's the thing. I'm a fair commissioner, and $200 doesn't move me. I'm sorry. They gave like 3 ones. Okay. Would the pick next year be unprotected, or would it turn into like seconds? Because there's a big difference. Myles Garrett now has 2.5 sacks also, for what it's worth. They all pamper Rudy. Yeah, that would make sense. And then, obviously, the Timberwolves players would have a reason why to not like him. Does a Chuck E. Cheese gift card move you? It absolutely does. Who needs $200 when you can get a Chuck E. Cheese gift card? As Mexico gets the stop. I feel like both offenses haven't even been bad. They just can't score touchdowns. I'll buy you 10 cheese pizzas. I would rather 10, like, Chuck E. Cheese pizzas. The KP trade was worse simply because he got flipped for Dinwiddie and Davis Bertans, which also led to the Kyrie trade. That's like the one good move that Washington's made in the last decade, at least in a vacuum. Maybe if they didn't have a player like Kristaps, they'd be lower in the standings. They'd have a better chance of getting Vic. But like just in terms of player value, that's a rare Washington Wizards W. I feel like Kristaps has become underrated at this point. Like, the guy is a good player. Was Bertans ever good? Well, he could shoot, and he's 6'9", or 6'10", or whatever. So that will naturally get you $80 million in this league, even if it doesn't work out. Up, Xavier Sori's finesse moves. I'll give you 10 Chuck E. Cheese pizzas. Now that does move me. KP is unironically the best player on the team. I would agree with that. At this point, I think Porzingis is better than Bradley Beal. Which might be hot-takey, but I would pick KP over Bradley Beal. Lauri Markkanen is supposed to be what Porzingis is. Well, Porzingis is also 7'3". Porzingis isn't that much worse than Lowry. I mean, Lowry was better this year, but Porzingis still has more size. And he's been better throughout his career than Lowry, even though Lowry this year probably was better than Kristaps ever was. This is an amazing match. We should thank Hector. Should we, though? Hector was only one vote. You should thank everybody who voted for the game. Do the Wizards have a culture issue? The Wizards have like an everything issue. They can't get out of their own way. They're just like complacent with being like below average. Is that a fumble? Oh, I thought that was like a fumble animation. So I don't know if it's culture with the Wizards, but more so like nothing they do like is putting them in a direction. Like they're trying to make moves to get better, but their team just like isn't there. Signing Bradley Beal to a supermax, drafting Johnny Davis over significantly better prospects. I mean, those were just last offseason. We can continue to go back and back. Dwayne Casey is stepping down, and Ime Udoka is replacing him. It's happening. I'm speaking it into existence. I mean, what other jobs are going to be available along with us and the Rockets? If I was a head coach, I'd rather go to the Pistons than Houston. At least it seems like we've got like a semblance of a culture and probably more overall talent, arguably. Ship Beal to Miami for whatever you can get. I don't even know if that'd be that much. Fire Shepard and try to get a top 10 pick, plus KP, Denny, and Kispert can be a core. Well, you'll have the top 10 pick this year. So, got to hit on that, which is a lot easier said than done with the Wizards, put it that way. Better tell the women in the Detroit front office to watch out for the silver-tongued Udoka. Well, if we're winning basketball games, then shoot, he can do whatever he wants. As long as it's legal. Jamal Mosley always looks like his house is burning down. Ideal reality to land 2 or 3 get scoot. If someone picks Brandon Miller at scoot over 2, then they deserve to be fired. That would be a mistake. It's also a mistake leaving Myles Garrett unblocked because he now has 3.5 sacks. I get you have to block a bunch of like all-pro level players, but I feel like Myles Garrett should be like the number one priority to stop. You'd think. Isn't he married to Nia Long? Well, he cheated on her with one of the Celtic staffers. So clearly his decision making is not very good. Another sack. Holy hell. Daniil Hunter now. Udoka's decision-making might not be the best when it comes to women, but as long as the team is winning games, then and it's not a distraction, then I'm all aboard. And of course he has W Riz as well. Well, we have a touchdown on this drive. Mexico tied it at 6. Again, both teams are moving it down the field. They just cannot find the end zone. Udoka wants to bring in Jordan Poole. Jordan Poole attracts all the baddies, so that would make Ime Udoka pleased. Jordan Poole's a Michigan guy, just saying. Not that we need him at all, but he is a Michigan guy. We need the Risley Bear of Udoka and the Riz Revise of Clay Thompson to team up eventually. Yeah, let's say Steve Kerr stops coaching, he becomes an analyst again, and you slide Ime Udoka over to Golden State. Who wouldn't want to coach the Warriors? How about Detroit hires Casey as head coach and GM? Why would we do that? That sounds like the worst idea you've probably ever said, and that says a lot. I'd like to go play for Udoka. He can teach you Riz lessons. Who wouldn't want to play with him? I'd want to learn Riz from the best. Mexico's moving it again. Gerald Everett has 6 catches. Wow. Bill O'Brien was an amazing coach and was the GM of an actual great Texans team. You don't need me. Do you need me to tell you how that didn't work? Do you want me to explain why that failed? Bill O'Brien is the reason why the Texans are as bad as they are. He set them up for failure. And now, even though he is gone, they are failing. Would you want me to play backup point guard for your team? You're probably better than Corey Joseph, so yes, please. Is O'Brien even a good coach? I mean, yeah, he did some things with the Texans. He's not like a dreadful coach. But is he a good one? I don't know. And obviously, as a GM, he's a moron. I think that goes without saying. He traded all those picks for Tunsil. To be fair, I will say Laramie Tunsil's really, really good. I'm just saying. Not that they should have done that deal, but Laramie Tunsil's really good. Please stop talking about Bill. No. He was a good college head coach. I mean, he wasn't all that good as the Alabama offensive coordinator. Obviously, he traded D-Hop for a bag of chips. I don't know what's worse, trading for DeAndre Hopkins for a second-round pick in 2019 or 2020 or whenever it was, or trading DeAndre Hopkins for nothing in the year of 2023 when the guy is still really good. I seriously don't get why some team won't just trade a 4 for him. Blows my mind. Cole Kmet with the touchdown for the Golden Eagles. Finally, we have a touchdown. It took us 3.5 quarters, but we've done it. He went to 6 playoffs. I mean, I would hope so with how good the roster was. Although he did do it with Matt Schaub for a while. Not that Houston Matt Schaub was bad. Did they have another quarterback in between Schaub and Deshaun Watson? I don't remember. Trading for a fantasy football running back was the dumbest thing ever. It's not even that David Johnson was bad. Prime David Johnson was nice, but he was like 3 years out of his prime when they got him. At the time, David Johnson was a negative asset because of his contract and his injury history, so it was like, you're taking on this contract, but you're also not getting fair value for DeAndre Hopkins. Would you rather I play backup, I assume you mean point guard for the Pistons, or linebacker for the Lions? I mean, at least the Lions have a little talent at linebacker. Rodrigo's cool. Anzalone has his value as the captain. Derek Barnes is there. Whereas with the Pistons, you can replace Tank Commander Corey Joseph. Tom Savage. How could I forget Tom Savage? And, of course, Brock Osweiler as well. And the little bit with Case Keenum. But, yeah, Brock Osweiler would be the main one because they gave him the big deal. Or, no, they drafted Osweiler. And then the Dolphins gave him the big deal, right? Yeah, I think I was flip-flopping it. So they, in between Schaub and Watson, had the little QB carousel. How did I forget it was the Broncos? I'm stupid. Osweiler did play on the Dolphins at one point. But the Broncos gave them the big deal after Peyton left. Okay, now I'm remembering. How did I forget that? Did they pay him right when Peyton... No, he was on the Super Bowl team. Okay, now I'm forgetting again. Was he on the team who won the Super Bowl? Because Peyton did not play every game that year. I don't think. No, they draft... I'm so dumb. I'm forgetting the timeline of Brock Osweiler. Was he on the team and then he got paid? Okay, now I'm remembering. He was on the team. He was on the team in 2015 with Denver. That's before he got paid. Okay, now I'm remembering. All the years just like mush up at some point. So it was Denver, then Houston, then the Dolphins. That was the order. Myles Garrett got hurt? I didn't even notice that. I was so worried trying to think of the Brock Osweiler timeline. The Raiders have it at 23. They're getting close, but they don't get the first down. They got to go for it, though. Yeah, Brock was 4 years, 72. Was he like a third-round pick, I think, with the Broncos? I don't think he was like that late of the pick. Holy hell, what a catch. And the Raiders tie it up. A.T. Perry. Wasn't he like really good last year for the Raiders? He was an Offensive Rookie of the Year candidate. He's kind of nice in real life, too. He's going to go earlier than people think. But holy cow, what a catch. I'm trying to steer the conversation away from my poverty franchise. So what do you guys think of the Texans' decision to draft Jadeveon Clowney #1 over a bunch of future Hall of Famers on the defensive side of the ball? I mean, at least that pick made sense at the time compared to some of the other decisions they've made. Davis Mills is that guy. It could have been worse. They could have drafted Kellen Mond. They drafted him off of an Instagram clip. That wasn't even his junior year. That was when he was a sophomore, I think. I had a dream that the Panthers drafted Bryce Young. That sounds like a good dream for you guys. That should have been a flag, low-key. The throw, I don't think that was a catchable ball, but that looks like it might have been a DPI. So, I don't know. That's a questionable no call. But it wasn't catchable, so I guess I kind of get it. But as I was trying to say, the next day the two articles come out about the league officials say they're slightly trending towards Bryce. I think that's smoke. I don't buy it. I think what the Panthers are trying to do is they recognize that the Texans, bringing it back to the Texans, they really want Bryce. I think that's the case, and I think Carolina's trying to get them to move up to 1. I think Carolina's guy is Stroud. I could be wrong. I mean, I don't have sources, but if I were to guess, I think Carolina's guy is Stroud, and they're trying to get Houston to want to move up to 1. Pass is broken up. Good stop by Mexico. Both teams have all 3 timeouts. I guess it doesn't really matter for the Raiders now. Which stadium is worse? FedEx, Oakland Coliseum, Nissan Stadium, and NRG Stadium? Well, it's got to be FedEx or the Coliseum. I feel like, I mean, I would probably say FedEx Field because with the Coliseum, they're not even, like, trying at this point. Like, it's obvious Oakland's going to move at some point. So, on the other hand, with FedEx Field, they're actually trying to keep that field, like, good, and they're not. So I would say FedEx is worse just based on that principle. Frank Reich wants AR. I saw something with that, but I could also see the team talking him into Stroud or Bryce. But he's a Carolina fan. He said he's going to be pissed if they take anyone but Bryce. I don't blame him. I do not blame him. But if I were to guess, I think there's a good shot he will be pissed. Yeah, Oakland's isn't even really a ballpark, too. It was designed to be a football stadium. Tails never fails, Raiders. You know the drill. Oh. Well, the Raiders listened to me, and it backfired. So the Golden Eagles will get the ball first. Told him CJ's a good pick. I mean, CJ's not a horrible pick, but, like, he's not the pick I would make. Jalen Carter is not expected to be a mid-round pick now. I don't know where you're seeing that from. If Jalen Carter goes out of the top 10, I'll do something. Okay, maybe top 10's too likely. If he gets out of the top 15, I'll do something. He's not getting out of the top 15. I think there's a good shot we pick him at 6. Front office wants AR, Fitterer wants Bryce, and Tepper wants CJ. Well, if there's 3 guys they want, then why would they move up to 1? That's just irresponsible. If you like all 3, then, like, you might as well trade up, like, to 5 or 6 where you think you can get 1, or even 3 if you want to be safe, and not give up as much. Whoever wins this game, book the parade. I don't think I will. If Jalen Carter goes out of the top 10, then I do the thug shake. I don't know how to do that, but I don't think he's going out of the top 10. Put it that way. Do you take offensive tackle or corner as the Buccaneers GM if both players are equally as good? That's a good question. Nice play by Justin Taylor as well to the 9. Mexico looks like they can punch it in and win it. Assuming there's an offensive tackle and a corner who's like super high in terms of best player available, you probably do go that route. I guess tackle. When I was doing the last mock draft and I was going through their depth chart, I think their hole at tackle is probably a little bit bigger than with corner. Although, if they pick a guy like Deonte Banks at 19, I think that'd be a good pick. If he's even there. Which I don't think he will, because he's good. Mexico does not punch it in, but Zion Tupola-Fatui is hurt. He was the defensive rookie of the year in both of the preseason sims we did. We need a draft live stream to hear Octi's reaction of the Lions picking Hendon Hooker at 6. I don't think that's possible. If we pick him at 18, though, I will not be pleased. Hell, if we pick him before, like, the 3rd round, I won't be pleased. Even if we did pick him in the 3rd round, I don't think that'd be a good pick. I would almost just rather, like, Dorian Thompson-Robinson. Get a guy with physical tools who you can develop. Even if Hendon Hooker will probably be ranked higher for me, I would almost just rather the toolsy backup with actual upside. Joey Porter Jr. or Deonte Banks? Probably Porter, but if the Bucs walk away with either of those guys at 19, you should be tickled pink. If we get the 8th seed, I'm going to a playoff game. Me and my roommates already got it planned out, but here's the problem. I want to wear my Jokic jersey and root for the Nuggets. What you got to do is you got to wear the Jokic jersey and then wear something over it. They'll never know. Hooker is better than DTR, but for the Lions, I honestly would rather DTR. I think there's more upside with him. If we're going to draft a quarterback, we should take a swing. Because we have Jared Goff, who's fine. He's serviceable. We don't need another Jared Goff. Ravens, Deontay Banks. Again, I don't think he falls that far. I think if there is a corner in that range, it's more like a Tyreek Stevenson or something. But, yeah, if Deontay Banks falls to 22, you should just run that card up. Keep him in Maryland. I think if somebody keeps him in Maryland, it's more likely to be Washington, which would also be a good pick for them. Yeah, the Thunder also have no shot of winning the finals, which isn't the case with the Nuggets, so... The Patriots could pick Banks. That works. We know Bill loves his big, lengthy, athletic corners. Joey Porter would also work, or if one of the top two guys fall, which I don't think they would. If the Seahawks take Levis at 5, I'm going to have a meltdown. But Seattle's already picking Tyree Wilson. He's so perfect for them. Not that's not even a bad pick. Make me a coach. Well, that would mean somebody would have to lose their job. So, once that happens, we can talk. Are we going to see a tie? That's possible. I cannot remember the last time in an OFL game we've had a tie. But it is very possible. Really, any scenario is possible here. Minute and a half left. Will Levis is a Lion. How about you be quiet? If Levis fell to 18, I don't know how I'd feel if we pick him. Because on one hand, I think in terms of value, that wouldn't be a dead pick. But on another hand, if he falls to 18, then clearly he was overhyped by the media. Which is ironic because there's such a negative connotation around him. Tyree, Will Anderson, or Jalen Carter are all A to S tier selections for the Seahawks. And I have a hard time thinking it won't be one of those guys. So I think he'll probably be pretty happy. Or even Paris Johnson. I don't know about Paris Johnson at 5. But especially if one or two of those defensive players are still there. So the Raiders are going to kick and look to tie the game. They're playing for the tie. Boo. Weak. So Mexico's going to have about a minute. Can Stetson Bennett pull out that clutch gene and show he's the reason why Georgia won the last 2 national championships? It's not because they had 7 first-round picks on defense, multiple great offensive linemen, multiple great skill position players, or probably the second-best head coach in college football. No, it's because of Stetson. It's Pete and John. Imagine if they picked Trenton Simpson at 5. That'd be gold. That would be very on brand. To pick a third rounder at 5. They 100% would do that. And then with 20, they'd get the steal of the draft. Oh my, what a throw. Stetson Bennett with a dot to the 29. If Stetson Bennett leads him downfield for the win, cut Lamar. Yeah, it's not looking good for you, buddy. It's not looking good. So the Raiders are going to be calling their timeouts, although it really doesn't matter at this point. They could just kick here. You don't want to do what the Texans did in the AFC Championship. Again, hate to bring them up like that, but this is an identical scenario, minus that this is a Week 2 regular season game. Jordan Brooks is like the one time for Seattle where it's like worked out. But like the other examples I can think of, LJ Collier did not work out. Rashad Penny, talented player, did not work out though. They have not had a first rounder since 2020, have they? Oh, they had Charles Cross last year. But that was in the top 10. That doesn't really count. Mexico kicks the field goal. They will win it. 19-16. So much pain is tied to the Texans. They did what the Texans didn't do and kicked the field goal when they should have. You didn't make Hectavius game of the... Well, you still won the game. Congrats. Hector the Fifth. Maybe they reset your kicker, which is weird. I can fix it before we sim. Justin Taylor, honestly, was kind of good. especially down the stretch. I'll give them credit. The Raiders didn't even try to run the ball, which maybe they should have. Jermaine Ifedi is another good example, yes. He was what, like 2016, I think? Yeah, that's another good example. The Lamar is a free agent. He is going to be a Bill. I don't know. You guys probably don't have the money. He would ask for a lot, I would presume. Check Miles' injury. Oh, Myles Garrett. It says no injury, so it looks like he's fine. I have cornerback Lamar Jackson. I will cut him. Look at C-Mill, a man of his word, cutting Lamar Jackson. Here, we'll fix the kicker. Eddie Pinera just made the game winner. Now he's gone. I'm a liar. Oh, you don't even have him? Oh, he's not even here. Okay, well, in that case, here's Lamar. No, I won't do that. That'd be funny if I did, though. All right, let's sim. I claim. Is he even on waivers? Is he even in the game? I would think he is. What if I did it by accident? Well, then I would just have to pick him up, although the Texans would face a big penalty, so then that would kind of suck for them. Let's see. Who do we have first? The Jets. They only lost by 7. Progress, not perfection. Rome wasn't built in a day. Good win for the Titans, though. Justin Herbert was solid. Drake May was better. Not great, but better. Again, baby steps. Derrick Henry, hello. Derrick Henry thinks this is either the Texans or the Jaguars with that performance. The Lions win the first game of the Caleb Williams era, 24-17, despite a nice little comeback in the fourth quarter against the Rams. Dak was slightly better than Caleb Williams. Both were pretty even. Both were pretty mid. Benny Snell with 2 touchdowns. Why is Benny Snell getting all those touches? Someone get hurt? So I think both of these teams are now 1-1. Yeah, the Rams did win last week. That's a lot of points. 35-56. What did Isaiah Thomas do? Hello! 7 touchdowns. 7. He just tied the NFL record for touchdowns. I don't think we've ever had a player in the LFL throw at least 7 touchdowns in a game. And of all the people to do it, it's him. And Cocky Butt Cannon actually played pretty well. 5 touchdowns himself. Maybe we should have watched the Oilers next week. Good Lord. 7. That's pretty good. The Nighthawks lose to New England, so the Patriots win their first game of the year. The defending champs back on track. Hopefully they don't win 2 in a row, because they play us. Josh Allen, he actually threw the ball. Unlike in week 1, he threw the ball. Cocky Butt Cannon is the best name in OFL history. I don't know. There's a lot of good ones. There's the Stephon Gilmore turnover. We didn't get it last week against the Bills. The Oilers obviously won with a lot of points. The Orbits lose to the Texans, 35-14. Lamar Jackson and Desmond Ridder were both fine. Lamar's lucky he kept his job. Sean Tucker, 3.4 yards a carry for number 34. I am so pleased by that. What I'm actually pleased by is the 3 touchdowns. Who had those yards? Christian Watson did. Three and a half sacks for Rashawn Gary. That's a lot. 2 for Daron Payne. That's also a lot. The Panthers lose to the Dreadnoughts, 38-17. Carolina's defense does not look too good so far. Jalen Hurts was good. Quinn Ewers was not good. Jarvis Landry, Not too bad. Looks like we had a number of sacks. 2 for Odafe Oweh, 2 for Quay Walker. Jason Verrett had an interception. I'm surprised he didn't, tear his knee up as he caught the ball. The Ravens are next. They beat the Steamers. No, the Steamers win. That's 2 weeks in a row. Wait, no, the Ravens did win. I'm dumb. Whenever we see Ravens scores, I don't know which team won. Dickie cock launch. It sent that one, yeah. I don't know why YouTube's weird about that. Both quarterbacks were pretty bleh. Do I remember Gregorian Dortch? Of course I did, because Dortch was the #1 pick, and he got benched by Dickie Cocklauncher, because Dickie was like a 92 as a rookie. What a guy. He wasn't even that good his rookie year, I don't think. Seattle beats the Niners in the Frank Bowl, 31-27. Travis Flight was a little bit better than Mahomes, though. Interesting. How did Frank do? 3 tackles, 1 for a loss. Okay, respectable. The Snowhawks lose to the Desperados, 31-13, or 21-13. I can't read apparently. Kyler Murray was pretty good again. Dakota Jones was, Dickie was I think he was 28 when he got drafted. Not even 25. He was older when he got picked than Stetson Bennett. That says a lot. The Steelers beat Dallas in the Joe Burrow revenge game, 27-21. Joe Burrow has been cheeks through 2 weeks. Maybe the Steelers knew what they were doing when they traded him away. He was not very good last week, although Dallas won, and then this week against his old team, he was terrible. Maybe the Steelers knew what they were doing when they picked KJ Jefferson. Hey, there's Damar Hamlin. The Texans won. The Titans won. The Vikings lose to the Bills, 24-17. Buffalo is now 2-0. I think we're next. I'm scared. Tua got sacked 7 times. That's a lot. Who had all the sacks? I see 4 in there. Von Miller doing his usual stuff. And then a few guys had 1. And Trayvon Diggs had another interception. He's now at 3. The Bengals beat the Cougars. Why is our defense buns, though? We've allowed over 70 points through 2 games, and we're 2-0. So I'll take it. Matt Corral is putting on a carry job. Hello, Matty C. Big game for him. One of the best of his career. Geno Smith was also really good. The difference is Josh Jacobs, who had 200 yards last week, did nothing. So our run defense was good. It's just that we can't stop the pass. J-Mo, hello. Love to see it. Corey Foreman, 5 tackles for loss for the rookie. Wow, okay, I like seeing that. We like Big 12 football around here in Cincinnati. Yes, we do. Bro has Clyde Edwards-Helaire on his roster. He deserves to lose. Yeah, but it's not like Clyde plays. 38-31, the Broncos with a nice 4th quarter comeback over the Chargers. Trey Lance outperforms Aaron Rodgers. Troy Franklin, nice. Go Ducks. The Colts beat the Explorers 28-24. I have no idea how to feel about the Explorers because they lost a lot of high-end talent, but they also added a lot of good rookies. So I have no clue what to expect with them this year. Mercy Mercado's been pretty solid at quarterback through 2 weeks. The Commanders are 0-2. From OFL Bowl appearance to an 0-2 start. Should the Commanders be worried at all? Both quarterbacks were fine. Christian McCaffrey was good. Amon-Ra St. Brown was also good. Kenny Clark, DeMarcus Lawrence with 2 sacks each. The Cougars lost, yippee. Dallas lost. The Desperados are 2-0, although they've beaten the Panthers and the Snowhawks. That doesn't really say much. I think a JV wheelchair team who's blind could beat those two teams. I think we covered everybody. Yeah, we used the Golden Eagles. Players of the week. The Explorers are 0-2, I think. Players of the week are Cocky Butt Cannon. Ironic. Isaiah Thomas, obviously, along with Myles Garrett and Von Miller. So how many teams are 2-0? Who's in the Cool Kids Club here at the top? 8. How many teams are 0-2? 9. Wait, no, that wouldn't make sense. It has to be 8. Yeah, I can't count. So 8 teams are 2-0, 8 teams are 0-2, and the rest of the league, which is the other 16, are 1-1. So the Bengals are the only team in the AFC North who's 2-0, even though we've allowed the most points. Can the defense wake up, please? The Titans and Texans are both 2-0 in the South. The Bills are the only team 2-0 in the East. Nobody's 2-0 in the West. We have a three-way tie at 1-1 with the Broncos, Chargers, and Raiders. The Vikings and Lions are 1-1 in the North. They lead the way. The Desperados and Golden Eagles lead the South. The Golden Eagles have scored 44 points, and they're 2-0. Yet we've allowed like 70-something points, and we're also 2-0. Make it make sense. The Eagles lead the East at 2-0. Seattle leads the West at 2-0. Who's better, OFL 23 Golden Eagles defensive line or OFL 22 Huskies Season 2? Who was on your defensive line in Season 2? It can't be better than what you have now. Can it? All right, so that'll bring us to Week 3. We've got the Bengals and the Patriots. Both teams won last week. Cincinnati's 2-0. The offense has been phenomenal so far. The defense, not so much. You meant offensive line. Oh, yeah, your offensive line was really good at the start, wasn't it? Siri, give me a number between negative 7,460 and negative 7,459. Negative 7,459. That is New England. They are the home team. Start Xavier and Sori. Where do you want him to start? I thought he was already starting. Maybe he's not. I don't remember. I went through a lot of depth charts. Bengals by 50. I agree. That's a good take. But what position do you want Sori at, Mr. Kevin? What if every team goes 7-0? That can't really happen considering only 8 teams don't have losses. So, yeah. Lorenzo Carter. So wherever Lorenzo Carter is. There. Boom. There we go. Okay, so Dan is here. He can pick his jerseys. I'll pick mine. I feel like I got to go with the all white. That's not the alternate helmet. That is. Yes. Or do we just go with, like, the regular... No, not that one. Where is it? Right here. Color Rush. Bang. All red. Do they have, like, a modern red jersey? I guess the alternate classic's modern enough. Are there any red pants in here? I don't think so. No. Okay. Do they have an older red helmet? I feel like they do. Or no, I don't. Maybe they probably don't. I thought maybe they had a red helmet with the guy snapping it, but I don't think so. Or all blue. Yeah, we can do all blue. Okay, so just like the homes. Yeah, there we go. That works. AFC Championship preview, very possible. New England took it all the way last year and won. The Bengals were the 2 seed last year and got embarrassed in the first round because that's what we do. We get the 2 seed and we lose in the wild card round. That's why they should let the 2 seeds get first round byes. Just saying. Josh Allen versus Matt Corral. Quite the quarterback matchup. The Bengals have allowed a lot of points through 2 weeks, yet we're 2-0. The offense has been phenomenal. As for New England, we've already watched them. We saw them in week 1. They lost to the Bills. Their offense was bad that game because Josh Allen literally threw the ball 6 times until like 2.5 minutes left. Adrian Moore is my friend's dad. He's the biggest Sooner fan, and he's a bodybuilder. I'm about to send him the clip from your draft video. Well, Adrian Moore is a baller, so that's like quite ironic. Your friend's dad must be a good ball player. If you have to deflate the balls or cheat because Brady did it, yeah. Does anyone have like the little ball pump? I think we could use it. OFL Bowl, 2 seconds left at the 50. Stetson Bennett launches it up to Dortch, and he catches it with one hand to knock off the Bengals. Would you take it because it's Greg Dortch or no? No. That would be a sad way to lose. The Chargers are going to the AFC Championship, I'm afraid. I don't know about that one, Chief. I mean, it's possible. But if us and New England are already going to be there, then I don't know about that one. Although we can't get out of the first round, so I don't think I can really talk. Joe Mixon is a criminal. I wish I had him last year. Because I had Najee Harris as my running back, and Najee Harris is like the nicest guy. Give him to me for a second. Well, I'm trying to collect criminals. That's the whole point. Yeah, New England's got to have plenty of ball pumps around here. That's perfect. You had him. Well, you should have given him to me because my team would have been a perfect culture fit for him. Your O-line sucks. I know. I wasn't already aware when Quentin Nelson allowed 13 sacks last year. There's a reason why he's gone. What criminal? Stetson Bennett for Chase Young? Well, we have to keep Chase Young around just for I chase young kids. Najee was criminally blind last year at the beginning of the season, so I guess in that case he is a criminal. Third and 3. What the hell was that? Credit to the receiver for breaking some tackles and nearly getting it. But why would we throw it 3 yards behind the line of scrimmage? Oh, that's Axon, the rookie, at a Liberty. And we're punting. Why? Why are we punting? It's 4th and... Oh, we're faking the punt. And it worked! I think that's Brock Bowers, who gets it all the way to the 20. Is that Bowers? That guy, he looks like him. No, it's Tingus Pingus. Who would have guessed it? Tingus Pingus. With a gain of like 22 off the fake punt. That is the play of the year so far. Nice to see Joe Lombardi as the Bengals offensive coordinator. Yeah, really. Poor Dan. Dan has a ring. Dan's good. Tingus Pingus, the Wizards legend. Tingus Pingus is better than Dingus Pingus and Ringus Pingus, or whatever the other Pingus at fullback's name was. I don't even remember. One of the rare times I want Octi to win. Welcome to the bandwagon. You'll be welcomed in this week. Play action fake. Pingus is open. Well, we got to get Pingus the touchdown. He's the reason why we still have a chance on this drive. Give Pingus the ball, damn it. I want him to score. Yeah, Tingus Pingus. Oh, he didn't get in. No. Give him the ball again. I do not care. And if we don't get it on 3rd down, give it to him once more. Give it to Tingus. That's not Tingus. That's a pass. Why are we throwing the ball? Oh, that's why we're throwing it. Okay, never mind. Isaiah Likely is likely to put the Bengals on top. I wish Tangus would have scored, but nonetheless, we are on the board. That was a weird drive. I think weird's one way to put it. What the hell is going on? The cameraman is having an aneurysm. Stop with the Likely jokes. They're too easy to make. Although I guess by having Brock Bowers, you're probably going to see him less, so congratulations. It's likely that I'll be making less Likely jokes, which makes me kind of sad. But Brock Bowers is really good at football, so. Bro dropped it and did the shmoney dance. So let's take a look at Josh Allen, who has not gotten off to a great start this year, mainly because his coaching staff held him back in the first game. In the second game, he was pretty good, though, which New England won. And New England's starting at the 13. Yikes. 1-2? Are you asking about your record? You guys are 2-0. Although you've beaten two bad teams, but you're 2-0. Josh Allen chucks up a prayer. Good play in the secondary. Is the Commies GM active? Yeah, he's pretty active. What's your honest opinion about my roster? It's fine. It's not bad. Third and 3. I feel like they're going to run it. I hope they do run it. It is not a run. But it's not going to matter. Josh Allen is sacked. Is that Baron Browning? I believe it is. Out of the Ohio State University. Weird to see Josh Allen throw the ball. How far do you think I can go with this roster? Pretty far. As long as you don't go far next year. Because of my draft pick. So the Bengals look pretty good early on as we try to make it to 3-0. We've played some good teams. The Ravens, but the Cougars are good, and New England's good. Although we obviously have not won this game yet. Still have a lot of work to do. Is your team playoff caliber? I mean, I don't trust the NFC South. I don't think Carolina's all that good. I don't fully trust the Golden Eagles, but they could be good. The Dreadnoughts are tough. So I do see a world where the Desperados win that division. I don't know if it's likely, but I think it's possible. It's not likely like Isaiah Likely. A rare halfback slip screen W. Those normally don't work. Predict my record. The NFC North stinks. Let's be honest here. I'll say 9-8. Another good throw by Matty C. into the hands of Rashad Bateman. Flag. It's going to be a hold. Womp womp. 6-11 is a floor. 10-7 is a ceiling. I'd probably knock the ceiling up a little higher, but yeah, I'd say that's pretty fair. And that'll probably wrap up the first quarter. A pretty good start. The offense has been good. We had some luck with the fake punt, but overall, I would say we've been good on that side of the ball. And then defensively, we have allowed negative yardage so far, which is certainly an upgrade from the last 2 weeks, albeit we've had 3 defensive snaps, but still, a lot better than last week. And the week before. Can you add me on Snap? I don't use Snapchat. I'm not a child. New England gets the stop. We'll have to kick. Here's yours truly, Octavius Gameavius. Give me T. Higgins. I'm good. I don't think I'm going to do that. No shot. I'm not trying to sound like the games. I'm so serious. I can see you getting 10 sacks. That sounds a lot like the games. Name a random NBA bench warmer part 2. Oh boy, I want to think of a good one. Kyle Quinn is a good one. Who's as random as it gets? Do you guys remember Chase Budinger, the ginger dude on the Pacers? The kicker from the University of Oregon slots it home. Get it right. I won the bet. He's from Oregon. Okay, why are we letting Cortland Sutton run through our entire defense? Can we tackle him? We didn't even really tackle him. A big gain for Cortland Sutton, all the way to the 18. Young Greg Monroe was kind of good with the Pistons. Then he kind of just fell off. Why didn't you commit to Oregon or Kansas or Arizona State? Because that's on the other side of the country, bub. Alonzo Trier was so good as a rookie, and then he just fell off the face of the earth. What happened to him? Patrick McCaw, four-time champ. He won another ring with the 76ers G League team this year, adding to his collection. If he was a senior at my school, I'd be your friend. I don't know if that's a good thing. Would I really want that? Garrett Temple's a good one. Jabari Parker was nice when he was young. I thought Jabari Parker was going to be the best player in that draft, which was ironic because Andrew Wiggins and Joel Embiid both went to Kansas. Yet I was like a big Jabari Parker guy. And that's right around when I started liking Kansas basketball. But yet I liked the Duke guy over both of the Jayhawks. And I was wrong. Although Jabari, his first few years was good. It's just that the injuries got him. As New England gets the touchdown. Is Frank Mason even random? I mean, that's my king, so he's not random to me. I guess in terms of NBA bench warmers over the last 5 years, he's random, but he's our king. Wayne Selden at Kansas was also nasty. Not as good as Frank, but still good. Frank Mason is the best Kansas... Frank Mason's my favorite Kansas player of all time, but I don't know if we can say the best. Although, senior year Frank was different. He's the best player that we've had over the last decade. Easily. And he's my favorite as well. But, I mean, it's not like Kansas had Danny Manning or Wilt Chamberlain. So, Drewness Legal, wasn't he an all-star at one point? If not, he was close. Ryan Arcidiacono, Villanova legend. He's still, like, in the league. He's been in the league for, like, 6 years. Good for him. I don't know exactly how Jabari got hurt, but he got hurt multiple times. And he had some good years with Milwaukee. They would have picked him number 1, too. He was always their guy. So the offense goes poopy, and New England's going to get it back, but not with good field position. What a punt! Down at the 9. Alex Len, Furkan Korkmaz, Sam Decker. What a guy. Tomas Satoransky. Remember when Furkan Korkmaz requested a trade this year? That was kind of funny. Are we gonna not cover these guys, please? I've invested a lot in this secondary, damn it. Cover them. Is that Tyquan Thornton? I know they have him. That Ingram Lakers guy, Andre Ingram, the G League legend who made his debut when he was 32. Tyler Zeller and Cody Zeller. Wasn't there a third Zeller? Or was it just those two? Brad Wanamaker. I haven't seen that name in a minute. Rajah Bell. Avery Bradley, Piston legend. I remember I was so excited when we traded for him, and then he just, was nothing. He was a Brad Stevens merchant. There's a lot of Brad Stevens merchants out there. Roy Hibbert was good. I don't know if I think he's too good to be random. He might have been an all-star at one point. And Paul Millsap was good, too. He had, 3 or 4 all-stars, didn't he? Our secondary looks like buns. Cortland Sutton's going to take it all the way. That first quarter was fun, and then now in the second quarter we look awful. What happened? Our defense has gone back to looking like the first 2 weeks, which is not good. So New England leads 14-10. Simcast time. Yeah, that seems like a great idea. Our defense isn't good in watched or sim, clearly, so I don't think that would do much of the difference. But let's see what the offense can do. We haven't had many consistent drives yet. Would the Hawks have made the finals if the Bucks weren't there? Well, by default, if the Hawks were the only team in the Eastern Conference Finals that year, then they would have made it. I'll give you sauce for your whole franchise. Can I have 11 sauces so you can actually fill out the defense? Next year, I want dibs as OCAA, commish, co-commish, commish admin, and all that. You don't get dibs for that, bud. No, what if the Bucks got eliminated earlier? Okay, I see. Who did they beat in the second round that year? Oh, that was the Nets series with Kevin Durant's foot being like a smidge too big on the line. I don't think the Hawks would have beaten Brooklyn. I would guess Brooklyn would have gotten into the finals. Imagine if the Nets made the finals. James Harden might still be in Brooklyn. KD and Kyrie might still be in Brooklyn. If they had lost to the Nets, I think the Nets would have beaten the Hawks. Even though Harden and Kyrie were both banged up, can our offense wake up, please? Matt Corral is sacked by Zach Seiler. It's like the first quarter we're really good, and then the second quarter of flip switches, and we've been awful. Start bench Harden, Kyrie. Well, obviously you start KD. Out of Harden and Kyrie, out of who I would rather on my team, it's definitely Harden because he's not a total locker room cancer. What a punt! Johnny Hecker is cooking. But who's better out of Harden or Kyrie? I think Kyrie's better on the floor. So bench Kyrie and cut Harden just in terms of basketball. Stop allowing my division rival to be good. I'm trying, damn it. Can we, get a safety here? That would, change things. Corey Foreman had 5 TFLs last week. Maybe he can get another one here, or maybe we just don't tackle. That works, too. Realistically, everyone on my team progs up to a 99. Would I get in trouble? How would you make them 99? Unless you come to my house and edit my console. We could have picked that ball off. Play the football. Start, bench, cut. Javon Carter, Leroy Carter, Hector Carter. Who are these people? Who is Leroy Carter and Hector Carter? Who is Leroy? Well, I can just start Javon Carter and I instantly win. Leroy, his real name is Leroy? I did not know that. You learn something new every day, kids. Get him, Chase. That works, too. Chase Young is chasing young kids around. Although Josh Allen doesn't look like a young kid because he's 6'5". Another sack, possibly. It's Josh Allen sacking Josh Allen. Yes. The better Josh Allen makes the play. Your D-line is still better. Yeah, but you don't have Josh Allen sacking Josh Allen. So, sucks to suck. All right, we have 2 timeouts. On this first down, I would like to see Matt Corral take a shot downfield. Look for J-Mo. He's faster than New England's corners. Let him cook. Don't run the ball, please. Good. It doesn't look like a deep pass. Or pass at all, because Matt Judon is in the zone. We should not run the clock out. I get some points. Don't be wusses, and they're going to be wusses. We don't start with the ball in the second half, keep in mind. One more play. Don't throw a check down, you weasel. All right, that'll wrap up the first half. We looked really good in the first quarter and then really bad in the second quarter. And New England starts with the ball in the third quarter. So I don't feel great about our chances. I won't lie. Although we still have time, and we're only down by 4. We played well enough in the first quarter to build up a lead. Remember when Josh Allen owned Josh Allen in real life? We need that to happen again. Can we get off this screen? I'm pressing X and circle. Why won't it let me get out of the screen? You don't need to see all the games, EA. We're going to see all the box scores in 20 minutes, Madden. Okay, we seriously do not need to see the screen for a whole minute. What are we doing here, EA? Thank God. Can I close out of this? Thank you, EA. That took way too long. Crazy how Kawhi's shot single-handedly ruined a possible Sixers dynasty. If Philly had won, yeah, that would have been a fun series with Milwaukee in the Eastern Conference Finals. Imagine if that shot doesn't go in. Goes to overtime, Sixers win. The whole trajectory of the league would look so different. Where was Bears? We had that whole screen for a good minute, and we did not get Bears. This game is so mean. Is it bad I have more hope for the defense than the offense? The defense has allowed a few big plays, but other than that, there's been some consistency, whereas the offense has just been kind of blah. Third and 1, Josh Allen under pressure. He is sacked. Chase Young. I chase young kids. But not literally. Simcast, I need to go touch grass. Well, why don't you just touch grass anyway? We know you need to touch grass. You don't have to tell us. Please not a what a punt. No! What a punt! Down at the 2. From Jack Fox! I forgot they had him. Jack Fox really did it to me. I'm surprised Jack Fox didn't throw a great pass there. Known passing great, Jack Fox. He's the NFL's all-time leader in passer rating, or at least he was the leader last year. Why does Jack Fox need revenge on me? Although I had Jack Fox last year in OFL, so I guess it is kind of the Jack Fox revenge game. Can we not run screens, please? It worked the one time. But we have receivers who are vertical threats. J-Mo's a vertical threat. T. Higgins is a vertical threat. Rashad Bateman's a vertical threat. Brock Bowers is a vertical threat. The passing has been so many short throws. Okay, this time it worked because Joe Mixon was open. But can we have some downfield throws? What did you miss? So we've gone through week 2. You guys lost to the Ravens, although a close loss. And then you guys play the Oilers this week, whose quarterback, Isaiah Thomas, threw 7 touchdowns last week. So, yeah. If me and Hector were your neighbors, would you play basketball with us? I would kick your guys' butts. Jack Fox getting revenge for you not making it past the second round. Jack Fox joins a real team with a real coach and he wins a ring. Coincidence? I think not. Okay, that time the short pass did work. I mean, if you're going to leave the underneath stuff open, I get it. I don't know if I would call the OKC thing a potential dynasty. That was a first-round matchup. So OKC could have just lost in the second round. You threw 7 touchdowns. Yes, you did. You guys threw 7 touchdowns. Or I shouldn't say you guys. I should say you throw 7 touchdowns. People forget Melo was on OKC. People forget Melo was on Atlanta. Hawk legend, Carmelo Anthony. Okay, that was a stupid throw. Don't throw the short stuff if they're not open. That time he was open. And we will likely keep the drive going. Looks like we're going to throw the ball again. Fun. We have to snap it, though. Another short pass. At least, like, with the short passes, he's getting them off quickly. But still, there's no aggressiveness. Go a pair of balls and sling the rock. There's a reason why we're 2-0. People hate on the Toronto ring? What's there to hate about it? Toronto won the championship. They deserved it. Boom. Do people hate on it? People hate super teams, but when a non-super team doesn't win it, they hate that too. It's like when Kevin Durant said basketball fans hate everything about basketball. It's kind of true. What if Dame becomes a Piston? It wouldn't really make sense, but there's a part of me that would be happy. Even if we don't need him at all. That would be fun. Would I trade one of our 2 young guards for him? No. I think that'd be stupid. But we can always slide Kate up to the 3. You got Dame at the 1, Ivy at the 2, Wemby at the 4, and Duren at the 5. Bang. Just forget all of our other picks in the future. Here's Corral taking a shot, and it is incomplete. And Sam Cosme is hurt. Cool. So New England will hold on to their lead, but we cut it down to 1, assuming we make the kick. Okay, cool. 14-13. Trade Killian and a boatload of picks for Dame. That's not like the worst decision for Portland. Depending on the picks, obviously. Maybe they can try to get another young player out of us, like an Isaiah Stewart or something. Portland gets a direction. We get Dame. He doesn't really fit our roster or our timeline, but he's Dame. That would be fun. Jalen Petrie is hurt. Fantastic. That is just what the doctor wanted to hear. At least Chase Young is in the zone. He might not be in the zone for long. Josh Allen is 13 for 15. He's been pretty good. And he's been aggressive. And New England's receivers have made a bunch of plays after the catch. That hasn't really been the case with us. Imagine if the Pistons get Dame and are able to trap Victor. As long as we keep our big 3, then I'd be thrilled. So that'll wrap up the third. New England's up by 1. Dame is a top 30 player at Warsaw. I don't know about top 30. I think that's a reach, as much as I love the guy. If the Mavs jump up to 1, can I have admin? How about no? Third and 13. This might be the biggest play of the game so far. Josh Allen's under pressure. Goes short. Don't let him get it. Good. Good. All right. So the defense gets the stop. Defense has been good, minus the second quarter. I'll give them credit. The second quarter was ugly, but other than that, it has not been bad. Please don't be a what a punt. Okay. It was close. You say no is my villain. That's not a word. My villain origin story. All right, you have fun with that. Matt Judon's been in the zone like the entire game. Can we get him out? Okay, there's a nice play. Brock Bowers, I assume. Who else is big and white who can catch balls on our team? Pause. There's another good play. Okay. Second and 1, I don't think he got it. Oh, he lost yards. Even better. I would like to run the ball. I trust Joe. We're not going to run the ball. I don't think he was in bounds. Nope. Should have ran the ball. That's what happens when you don't block Matt Judon. Even though he was out of the zone. So New England's going to get it back. There's still time, and the defense is still playing reasonably well. Actually, we had another fake punt there. Another Tingus Pingus play. What's good, Nick? Welcome in. I love T. Higgins' ability to suck in those balls. That's a classic. I see I traded a Hall for a scrub at quarterback. That is correct. He was not good at all. That's being generous last week. Josh Allen kind of heaves it up, and it is caught. I feel like this is on our secondary. Our pass rush has been like legitimately good today. Our secondary needs to wake up. I guess that kind of happens when Nate Hobbs and Jalen Petrie are both hurt, but still. The secondary has not been good at all. Again, case in point. He's left completely wide open. Cortland Sutton, who has 150 yards. Who's supposed to be covering him? I would assume either McDuffie or Bradbury. I rubbed the statue of the turtle for good luck, and I got a Burrow 3 interception game. Congratulations. Turtle might have cursed you. If we stop him to a field goal, I'll be good. Just don't let him score a touchdown. Even though it would technically still be a one possession game, but I need the red zone defense to show up. Our front has been really good today. Oh wow, there's 3 minutes left. I thought there was at least 5. They've been chewing some clock, and they get the touchdown. Okay, we're in a little trouble now. Travis Etienne with the score. It is still technically a one-score game. A touchdown and a 2-point conversion ties it. There's so many possible punchlines with Fletcher Cox. That's true. Just as there is with Grady Dick. Burrow was elite in OFL 21 and 22, so naturally when I get him, he stinks. To be fair, he was kind of mid last year with the Steelers, so I guess the sign was there. Although, again, it's only been 2 games. All right, we had 3 minutes. We need a touchdown and a 2-point conversion to tie it. There's been like no sense of urgency from us on the offensive side of the ball, and now, well, there kind of has to be. Okay, I don't love the short pass, but 7 yards is not a bad start. Okay, also not bad. That was the wrong button. Looks like I've been watching a Greg Roman-led offense. Yeah, really. We are not playing up to our talent level. The first 2 weeks of the year, the offense has been great. If we had an average offense, we would be 0-2. But because they've been really good, we're 2-0. But they don't look so good today. Imagine Grady Dick in a fight. I would pay to see that. Is that going to be a roughing the passer? Please? Please? Yes! Roughing the passer on the defense. Bang! Automatic 15 yards. That's big. And a first down, of course. Time to pull out some cheats. I'm going to hop into the game and score myself. Not run screens. What are we doing? Did I get accepted into St. John's and Temple? I never applied to St. John's. St. John's is in, like, New York. If I did, I could hang out with Rick Pitino all day. Oh, that should have been picked. We got lucky. 4th and 3. Not necessarily the game because we have all 3 timeouts, but if we don't get it, we're kind of in trouble. Nope, forward progress is a son of the gun, and he fumbles it anyway. Wouldn't have gotten it, but that's going to be the icing on the cake, pretty much. Adrian Phillips gets it all the way to the 31. If I applied to Harvard, would I have been accepted? Probably not. I kind of wanted to apply there just to see what would happen, but I think it's a lot of work. Yeah, they're not going to review the fumble. It wouldn't have mattered. He didn't get it. We do it 3 timeouts, so we'll keep watching, but it's about over. If Gilmore forced that, I swear to God. 2nd and inches. A few inches makes a big difference. That's what she said. Okay, yeah, now it's over. GG's. The undefeated dream comes to a close for the Bengals. Can't win them all. Was this our first watched game loss? Because the playoff game last year was not a watched game. I don't think we've ever lost in a watched game until now. We had, like 3 of them last year, and I think we won them all. And at least 2 of them were in overtime. Is California University of Pennsylvania bound? Go, what's their mascot? I don't even remember. I think they're like the Vulcans. Go Vulcans. Looking at the numbers, Josh Allen was really good. Matt Corral was just kind of mid. He wasn't bad, but he wasn't good. There was no sense of urgency with the passing game. He didn't throw many long passes. His longest was 21 yards. His average yards per attempt was 5.2. California is a golden bear. Yeah, we're not talking about that California silly goose. Joe Mixon was pretty mediocre. Cortland Sutton was very good. T. Higgins played well, though. I will say the pass rush was pretty good. We had, 3 sacks, and we sent pressure other times as well. Late in the end, I forced a fumble. Yeah, there's an Indiana of Pennsylvania, and there's a California. I don't know why, but there is. All right, let's sim. Who do we use? We use New England. So we will start with the Raiders, who demolished the Steelers 34-7. Hector Estrada V was solid. KJ Jefferson, after his big game against Dallas, was not so solid. Michael Carter had more touchdowns than yards per carry. I don't know if that's a good thing or a bad thing. 4 sacks allowed from Carter Warren. Yikes. 2 of which were by Zion Tupula-Fatui. The Rams go 0-2 today. They lose to Columbus. Interesting. Marcy Mercado's been pretty solid all 3 seasons. Or all 3 games, I mean. Dak was pretty good. Dameon Pierce was very good. Hello. The Ravens beat the Eagles, so Philadelphia is no longer undefeated. The Ravens are 2-1, tied with us. We do currently have the tiebreaker because we beat them. Bryce Young got sacked 7 times. That's a lot. Amon-Ra with another nice game. Daniel Falele allowed 5 of them. Oh boy, who had a big game? Was it Shaq Barrett? It was. He had 4. I don't even think he's supposed to start for them. Maybe he's like a rush lineman. Seattle is 3-0. Okay, are the Seahawks for real? They beat the Orbits 42-31. Patrick Mahomes is back. Desmond Ridder was fine. Deontay Johnson scored a touchdown. That's more than he had the entire season this year in real life. Good for him. The Snowhawks, meanwhile, are 0-3. Who could have seen that one coming? They lose to Mexico City. Did the Golden Eagles win in week 1? Are they 3-0? Myles Garrett with 2 sacks. He had, 5.5 total today? That's pretty good. The Steamers win their first game of the year, beating the Oilers. It appears Isaiah Thomas did not throw 7 touchdowns this week. He only threw 2. How did Stetson do? He was fine. He was pretty good. He wasn't, like, great. He didn't light the world on fire, but he was good. He had some nice throws. The Bills beat the Texans. Buffalo is 3-0. I think C-Mill said Lamar Jackson was going to get sacked 10 times. Cut it in half. It was 5. Still a lot. Zeke scores 3 times for the Bills. Who had all the sacks? It looks like they came off the edge. 2.5 for Von Miller. He had 6.5 sacks in total today. Will Anderson had 1.5. First game that Trayvon Diggs didn't have a pick, though. The Titans are no longer undefeated. They fall to the Colts. I think Indy went 2-0 today. Good for them. Kirk Cousins, 3 touchdowns. Justin Herbert also had 3, but he was picked off twice. Why did Derrick Henry get the ball 8 times? Doesn't look like he was injured. It just looks like they didn't run the ball. It's not like Derrick Henry had like 200 yards last week. No, totally not. Oh, he did get the ball a lot in the air. Okay, well that makes up for it. 3 sacks for Chris Jones, despite losing. The Vikings beat the Panthers 42-39. A lot of points. Quinn Ewers was good, as was Tua Tagovailoa. Both of them threw for over 400 yards. Bengals lost. Yippee. The Bills won. The Broncos beat the Dreadnoughts 27-26. Trey Lance with back-to-back good games. Same with Jalen Hurts. Juju played well. Diablo legend. My defense is averaging like 6 sacks per game. Is that good? That is quite good. What's not quite good is the Chargers losing to the New York Jets. 34-31. Drake May with his best game by far as he gets his first win. Aaron Rodgers was mediocre. Chase Claypool, hello. He was good. The Colts won. The Commanders, what is going on here? So the Commanders might be bad, and the Desperados might be good. Austin is now 3-0. Maybe they shouldn't have traded for Rodgers after all. I'm not complaining. Put it that way. I better have won. He doesn't know, guys. Does he know? I don't think he knows. How do we tell him? Wait, did we even see their score? I don't think we did. Okay, he doesn't know because we don't know. I thought we went through the Orbits game, but I don't think we did. Wait, no, yeah, we did. We did. We definitely did. Yeah, we went through that game. Okay, I'm not being stupid. The Cougars lose to the Cowboys 24-21. Geno Smith was pretty good, as was Joe Burrow, finally playing well for once. Stetson has starred, yeah. Josh Jacobs was a lot better than last week. Still not enough to win. I don't know why Clyde got the ball 14 times. That's not smart. Chris Godwin was good. Leonard Williams, 2 sacks, despite losing. We saw that game. We did not see this one, though. The Niners lose to Detroit. The Lions go 2-0 today. The offseason winners might be translating to the regular season. Caleb Williams was really good. Travis Flight was solid as well. Yeah, the Golden Eagles are 3-0. The Monarchs won, damn it. OKC gave a nice comeback in the fourth quarter, but the Nighthawks appear to be trying to ruin my draft pick, which I don't like. C.J. Stroud was a little bit better than Cocky Butt Cannon, though. The Nighthawks are 0-3. Not good. I believe that is everyone. Yup. Players of the Week, Tua Tagovailoa, Nick Bolton, Kirk Cousins, and Shaq Barrett. Interesting group. So we had 8 teams who were undefeated, 8 teams who were winless. Those numbers are both surely going to decrease. We only have 4 teams who are undefeated. The Bills, the Seahawks, the Desperados, and the Golden Eagles. Interesting group. As for winless, again, we only have 4. The Panthers, the Commanders, the Nighthawks, and the Snowhawks. So in the AFC North, the Bengals and Ravens lead the way, 2-1. Steelers and Steamers a game back. In the South, it's a 3-way tie with the Colts, Titans, and Texans, none of whom have scored the same amount of points as the Oilers, who are the worst of the bunch, ironically. The Bills lead the East. The Broncos and Raiders lead the West. Minnesota and Detroit are atop the North. The Rados and the Golden Eagles are 3-0 in the South. The Eagles and Cowboys lead the East, and the Seahawks have a 2-game lead in the West. Least amount of points scored, I know someone asked for points, is Portland, shocker. Most amount of points scored is Seattle. Least amount of points allowed is Buffalo. Most allowed is Carolina, who's averaging over 40 points per game allowed. Who has the most sacks? Myles Garrett and Von Miller have 7. There you go. Let's take a look at the schedule for weeks 4 and 5. We're not going to go through stats. It's week 3. We will once we get closer to the middle of the season. Did I even do your depth chart? I did everyone's depth chart. It's possible there could have been like an injury or something. My team is being carried by my defense. What is this timeline? The one time Nick's offense isn't good, the defense is good. Why is that? Let's take a look at the injuries. We only had 2 in week 1. Travion Henderson tore his labrum. That's something. Cameron Hayward dislocated his ankle. Also something. Michael Thomas tore his labrum as well. Micah Parsons dislocated his elbow. Jeez. Teron Armstead, torn labrum. Why are all the players getting injured? Good. Nothing new for us. That's nice. Devin Bush, out for the year. Or at least out for the regular season. Eddie Jackson's going to miss a week. Ramondre Stevenson is going to miss 19. He's out for the season. And that's everyone. Okay. So I think that'll just about cover it. Weeks 2 and 3 in the books. I don't know when weeks 4 or 5 will be. Probably later this week, presumably. So, yeah, I hope everybody enjoyed the early stream today. And, yeah, peace out.